Dan, how are you, my man?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, mate. Very well. I was just talking about our conversation, actually, that we had in the gym the other day. When I come down to see you, you looked in fine form, by the way. You look great, you know, ready to go. February the 3rd. It's going to be a great all-British showdown one, you know, WBA number 1 and 2, respectively, going in there, going at it. We love all that old school stuff. But... yeah, like, you know, I was telling Adam earlier on in the show about the conversation we was having about, you know, Joshua Buatsi was Olympic silver medalist back in 2016. You know, you was at a different level. He was the guy, the main man. Now all of a sudden, you know, like you've gone the old school way, the hardcore way, like, you know, Southern area, English, British, Commonwealth, European, done it on the road, and you've learnt your trade. And now it's one of those fights where you look at it now, whereas maybe 18 months ago, 24 months ago, you'd go, you're a million miles away. And now you look at it and go, this is a real 50-50 fight. And I was talking about the psychological side of that, Dan. I mean, explain a little bit about that, you know, how you get over that, how you overcome that, or how you even feed off that, you know, because when you two go there, he's going to be looking at you and he's going to be going, you know what happened in the sparring. You know, I was the man. And you're looking at him going, mate, yeah, I know what's going to happen here. I know what's going to happen. So, like, explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, like we spoke the other day at my gym, you know, I know I've got to take myself mentally to a certain place when we get in there. And I've already built up a monster in my head. And yeah, man, it's just about getting in there and defeating this monster. And to be fair, every fight that I have, no matter who it is, from when I first started off, the journeyman I was fighting, I always build up some sort of monster in my head. Like, I never go in there thinking, I'm going to dust this guy over. I always build like the best version of whoever I'm fighting. And yeah, I've been in there with him, thousands of rounds. I know what he's capable of. And yeah, I just got to get my mind ready for what the best Joshua February 3rd.
Dan, I want to ask you a question. Let's say you've done 1,000 rounds, yeah? Let's say you've done 1,000 rounds with Joshua Buatsi. Out of that 1,000 rounds, how many rounds would you say you won? There's a reason for me asking this, by the way.
Maybe 250, 250,
right.
150.
So he probably won more rounds than you, a lot more rounds than you. And
100%. But
we had that, Dan. We had that conversation, though, didn't we? Well, I told you about when I had that fight. Like I say to you, like where you go, forget that because that's sparring, and that was part of your development. But it's about the psychological thing, how his mindset is going into the fight, and how your mindset is. And if anything, that could be an advantage for you.
Yeah, it could do. But I'll be honest with you, the Joshua I know will not. He's not that stupid. I'll be honest with you. And he's credit to him, he's very professional. He knows how important this fight is for himself as well as it is for me. So I don't think he'll go in there with the mindset of, I used to, you know, do this to him in sparring or whatever. I've won this amount of rounds. He will go in there, you know, listen, this is an important fight. Do you know what I mean? Like every fight is. So I don't think it could be an advantage if he fought like that, but I don't see him thinking that way at all.
Experiencing your personalities as we have done here on talkSPORT, you're two proper blokes who obviously big ambitions in order to try and achieve the very best that you can in the sport. And when the fight was made, it was very amicable. Everything was, listen, man, it's business. I'll see you in the ring. I'm going to go and train. I'm going to go and do my thing. Obviously, the first fight falls out because of your injury, and then all of a sudden we have all this tittle-tattle on social media where other people are in there with their stirring the pot, mate, making it all a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Has that added a little bit of extra flavour for you coming up to February?
Not for me, probably for the fans, but for me, regardless, February 3rd, that's where it's all going down. It's funny because I've had phone calls and people are like, "Oh, did you not call each other and plan that and this, that?" And no, man, there's certain things that have happened in the build up to this fight that has probably pissed him off, and there's certain things he's done that might have got under my skin. But again, the main thing is February 3rd. Like, we can all talk and say this, that, and the third, but what goes down, whose hands raised, February 3rd, that's what's important.
Dan, I think it's fair to say that, you were, long-time friends. You go back a long, long way. And now really, going into February 3rd, you're like friends becoming enemies. How difficult is that to switch? Because you like to say, after the fight, I'm sure this is an ultimate gladiatorial sport. You two will be friends again, lifelong friends again. I'm sure of that. But how do you get your head in that space when you know someone like that?
Do you know what? It's a thing of, the only thing that's kind of a bit awkward is maybe like the build up, like when we're around each other or whatnot. But I just know once we get in the ring, that goes all out the window. Like I told you, we sparred so many rounds. We're talking, we're gisting. Yeah, this happened on the weekend and da-da-da-da. Soon as we get in there to spar, all of that's out of, and that's just sparring. So imagine what it would be like for a real fight, you know what I mean? And where so much things are on the line and, so mentally I just know it doesn't matter, man. Like all that, I don't need to take myself into some crazy realm or whatnot. I just know once we step in and it goes ding, ding, yeah, it's game on.
Dan, does the winner of this fight for a world title this year?
Yeah, hopefully. You never know, do you know what I mean? Sometimes, we've seen already, like, where a mandatory or someone who's ranked #1 is waiting how many years before they fight. But the most important thing is just getting that win February 3rd, and then we can talk about what's after.